the White House uses executive privilege to keep from turning over documents involving Operation Fast and Furious. Is this the administration not only protecting the Attorney General, but is this President Obama trying to protect himself?
Boy, Ginny, you talk about coming in the bottom of the ninth inning and doing something that makes the game even more troubling. I mean, the fact that the President of the United States is inserting himself into this issue by exerting executive privilege raises questions again as to what the Attorney General knew and when. But now this also raises the issue of what the President knew and when. We'd been told pretty clearly under oath by the Attorney General that he never discussed Fast and Furious with the President. The President, I believe, in March of last year, said that he had never heard of Fast and Furious. So, again, it raises some troubling questions, and it all, as well, I think, takes us away from the most important point, which is this. Something very bad happened. Our government did something very wrong, which resulted in the death of hundreds of Mexicans and a U.S. Border Security agent, and the Attorney General has basically not at all cooperated with us to find out answers to what happened.
And, you know, Congressman, it's worth noting that back in 2007, President Obama said there's been a tendency on the part of the Bush administration to try to hide behind executive privilege every time there's something a little shaky that's taking place. I think the administration would be best served by coming clean on this. What about coming clean about Operation Fast and Furious?
Yeah, well, again, when you look at every issue across the board, whether it's this, this president ran on doing things that the prior administration didn't do, and then they went back on those very things. Look, we elected somebody 3.5 years ago that wasn't ready to be president, so we know that. But it's our duty, the Oversight and Reform Committee, is to get these answers. The government did something very wrong. They forced licensed gun dealers in this country to sell weapons to Mexican drug cartels, and then we quit tracing those weapons, again, resulting in deaths. We need answers. The Brian Terry family needs answers. And for some reason, Eric Holder is hiding something, and he will not cooperate with us.
You know, and I know you, along with other members of Congress, have been saying it's all or nothing. Holder shows up with nothing. But he says, I've made an extraordinary offer. Is that what we're into, deal-making, when we're talking about a dead Border Patrol agent and we're talking about this country paying a price for years to come because of the thousands of guns that were let across the border?
He's been so political, Eric Holder has, and so arrogant and so callous. I mean, the fact that, and I give Darrell Issa all the credit in the world. I mean, he basically said, you know, he sat down with Holder last night at 5. Give me the documents. Mm-hmm. Just give me these documents, and we'll hold off this vote. And Holder shows up for 20 minutes without any documents and basically says, I'll brief you guys on what's in those documents. What a politically arrogant thing to do and say. He's run out of bullets, no pun intended. And unfortunately, we're going to be forced to do what we have to do.
Yeah, he doesn't only say, I'll brief you, but I want to make sure the case is closed.
That's a great point. He says, I'll brief you. I won't give you the documents, but I'll brief you on what's on those documents only if you stop the investigation.
Yeah.
Again, he made it so easy for us because nobody on this committee, the Republicans, really want to do this. But he's made it so easy for us because he has arrogantly put his middle finger right in front of our faces again.
Yeah, but again, why would the president wait until now? If this was a major concern, why would they wait until now? He calls in his letter it would cause damaging consequences.
And again, I'm no expert, Ginny, but when you exert executive privilege, you're talking about communications directly between staff and the president. So he's inserted himself. He's now begging us on the committee to ask, oh my gosh, Do you mean to tell me that there were communications with the president, that the president was aware of Fast and Furious? Very, very troubling.
Congressman, the committee votes for contempt, then it goes to the full House and they pass it. It gets turned over, as I understand, to the U.S. Attorney in D.C. to enforce. He's a Democrat. I understand he's a good friend of Holder's. How can you trust him to do his job?
It's a good question. It's my understanding that the Speaker has allowed time next week for the full floor to vote on contempt. As you say, then it will go to the U.S. Attorney in D.C. To present to a grand jury. And this whole executive privilege issue now could complicate that step. But it's my understanding that depending on what type of contempt, that we've still got options to do what we need to do to find answers. And regardless of all of that, Ginny, I mean, this is our sacred obligation. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've given us no choice because, again, Eric Holder won't give us any information month after month after month. So we have no choice but to take this next step. And then our concerns are like yours. We have to hope that politics won't enter the fray a step or two down the road.
Oh, he calls it political gamesmanship on your part. What are we seeing going on? He wants to make a deal. Let's strike a deal. I mean, it's unbelievable when you hear the words they're using. We're talking about a dead Border Patrol agent, Mr. President. But I've got to ask you, Congressman Micah called this a sad day. What do you call what's happening today?
Well, I don't look. To me, the sad day, Ginny, was when Brian Terry was shot and killed. To me, the sad day was when gun walking in Fast and Furious was approved. It was a sad day when our government turned their backs on these guns and let them disappear in Mexico. It's unfortunate that we have to take this step, but to get an answer, to keep doing what we need to do to get answers for the families of Brian Terry, that's not a sad day at all. This is what we're supposed to be doing.